Namaste. Welcome to Vishwa Yoga. My name is Vishwa. Today I will talk about some of the common features that are found among the three Tantric philosophies, and then I will share the framework as to how I intend to present those philosophies. My goal is to present the philosophical view in a simple and easy to understand format. There are many distinct features of Tantra, but let me share 5 main features to give you the background and framework of the philosophy. First, a brief history. As per archaeology, the oldest Shiva painting was found in central India, dated around 9000 BC. Many statues of Shiva, Shakti, and Shivalingam were found in Indus Valley excavation. For the archaeological history and timeline, you can watch my video on that. I will add the link in the description. As history indicates, when a group of people started to misuse the Vedic system for power and money, society started to divide, and this led to the downfall of the Vedic system. The resurgence of Tantra initially came as a revolt against the misuse of the power. It is said that the Tantric system started to take shape around the time of Buddha. But the rebound of Tantra was formally more seen around 1 AD, and the peak of the Renaissance period was between 800 to 1300 AD. This was the period of great masters, philosophers, practitioners, and contributors. During the same time, the Vedic system was also revived. Today, the majority of Hindu practices include 3 ingredients: Vedic, Tantric, and local custom and traditions. If curious to know the differences between Vedic and Tantric tradition, you can watch my video on that as well. I will provide the link in the description. As you might know, first Muslim invaders ruled India for more than 700 years, and then British colonized it for another 200 years approximately. Either of these rulers did not like Tantra practitioners, since many of the Tantric practices did not align with their Abrahamic belief system. So they started to punish or prosecute the practitioners. That made Tantrics to go into hide. Only those practices which did not cause any trouble stayed visible in public. Some people took the path of devotional movement following the Puranic tradition, but that conditioning of the last 1000 years of suppression created a negative impression in Indian psyche about their Tantric practices, which they still live with today, even after freedom. But slowly and gradually, people are acknowledging the truth. They are showing interest in learning, practicing, and sharing the knowledge. But one of the unique beauties and intrinsic features of Tantra is, as time passes, it adapts and practices get revived for the need of the people. They never stay stagnant. I wish most other traditions had this flexibility to reflect and change as time changes, like we adopt modern technologies as they become available to have a better quality of our life. Now one might wonder and ask this question, being such an ancient tradition with so much goodness, why Tantra philosophy is not formally considered as part of major Indian philosophy or darshana. So here are a few reasons why. So first, let's understand Tantra is the system and Tantrics are the practitioners of Tantra. As you may have watched my videos on the type of Indian philosophy, it is mainly divided in 2 major groups. One group acknowledges and accepts Vedas as the highest authority, and the other group does not acknowledge Vedas. So, you will not find Tantra on either side. In reality, Tantrics did not side with any, neither accepted nor condemned others. Tantrics simply did not involve themselves in any debate, rather placed more emphasis on the practice than the philosophy. But they presented their philosophy only when it was necessary to explain their worldview. So the truth is, Tantra scriptures are called practice and application scriptures, or in Sanskrit is called sadhana sastra or prayoga sastra, not a philosophy scripture or darshan sastra. Tantrics believe when you experience the truth or the result by doing the practices, you do not need any philosophy or intellectual framework to convince yourself. The direct experience is self-evident as the main proof. But to establish any philosophy, you must comply with some valid means or proofs called praman. I have talked about the 6 valid means of proof in one of the philosophy videos. In Tantra, direct experience is the first and the highest proof. The second is inference, which is based on previous observations. Then the third is based on the testimony of reliable sources such as texts or experts. These 3 are the common means of proof used in each of the Tantra philosophy. You also know the major Tantric traditions are Shaiva, Shakta, and Vaishnava in the order of their revelation. Shiva was the first guru or the teacher who revealed Shaiva Agamas to Divine Mother or Shakti, as she was the first student. In Tantra, Shaiva Agama is considered the oldest Tantric tradition, also known as Shaivism. In this, Shiva is the supreme Brahman. Then Shakti revealed Shakta Agama or Tantra to Shiva. She literally initiated Shiva as a student of Shakta Agama. This was known as Shaktism. In this, Divine Mother or Shakti is the supreme Brahman. Then Narayana or Vasudeva revealed Vaishnava Agama to Lakshmi and sages. This is known as Vaishnava Tantra or Vaishnavism. In Vaishnava, Vasudeva or Narayana is the supreme Brahman. Each tradition has multiple schools, varying on both right hand and the left hand path, which I have already covered in the previous videos. Now some of you may ask this question: when Shiva, Shakti or Vasudeva revealed the knowledge, did the respective student pick up the pen and paper and started to write these scriptures? No. I would say think in the terms of an inquiring mind and the source. The source is one, that is Brahman or Absolute, the pure universal consciousness, which manifests as Shiva, Shakti or Vasudeva. When taking a seat as the source, the student takes the seat of inquiring mind, asking the question, and the source answers the question as a guru or teacher. Sages connected to the source in the meditative state and receive the revelation, and then further they pass down this knowledge to their student for the betterment of the mankind. Most of the major tantric texts are in the form of questions and answers. Another common feature includes the 5 faces of manifest Brahman called Panch Brahman. Panch means 5. It is said that Shiva and Shaktagama were revealed by the 5 faces of Shiva. Each one revealed a certain number of agamas or tantra. Shakti presides above all or was present in subtle form. Some scriptures say that the first 4 faces revealed Vedas and the 5th one revealed agamas or tantra. Shiva and Shakti are not separate. Think it like this: one is the heart and the other is the heartbeat. you cannot think of separation. In the same way, Vaishnava Agamas were revealed by the 5 faces of Vasudeva or Narayana. The scriptures say that each face faces a particular direction, such as north, south, east, west, and upward or sky, while revealing the knowledge. Furthermore, each face is connected with one of the 5 elements called Panchabhutas, such as earth, water, fire, air, and space. From that, everything is made up in this creation. Now keep in mind that each tradition consists of a static and dynamic power of Shakti. When dynamic power is inactive or in sleep state, Brahman is unmanifested. The moment Brahman desires to manifest, its dynamic power or Shakti wakes up and the process of creation and manifestation begins. So technically, Shakti is common among all 3 traditions, and without this dynamic power or Shakti, no creation or any action can take place. So you can say that each phase is related to one of the dynamic power or Shakti of the Supreme. Generally in Vedic tradition, the Saguna Brahman, Ishvara, or Trinity, such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, is said to manifest the power of creation, preservation, and dissolution respectively, along with their consort. Or you can say the power of generation, operation, and destruction, G-O-D, or God. But in Tantra, each supreme deity of the respective tradition is said to have 5 kinds of dynamic powers or Shakti, as manifest Brahman, 2 more than traditional views. These are creation, preservation, dissolution, concealment, and revealment. In my previous videos, I talked about Tatwas or principle of reality. In Vedic philosophy, you saw up to 26 Tatwas, but in Tantra, you will see 36 Tatwas. For a clear understanding, all these Tatwas are grouped into 3 main groups. As you know, Brahman is not considered a Tattva, but beyond Tattva. I have presented here for the consistency. So the first group is called pure or Suddha Tattva, which is directly created by the Supreme. Then the second group is called pure impure or mixed Tattva, also known as Vidya Tattva. These Tattvas are instruments of the soul. And the third group is known as impure or Asuddha Tattva, also known as Atma Tattva. In this group, the aspect of the universe and the physical reality are present. In short, the impure group contains the Prakriti and its 23 other Tattvas. Each tradition may give a different name to each group, but have the same logical grouping. So if you simply map those 4 major Vedic Tattvas, you will see 27 Tattvas are already mapped and visible here. Keep in mind, Prakriti is mother of other 23 Tattvas. I will share all the 36 Tattvas and their hierarchy as I move into the respective Tantra philosophy. Here I am just conveying the basic design to give you an idea and the framework. Now I will talk about my approach or framework as how I plan to share these tantric philosophies with you. There are volumes of tantric text, and a handful of them I have listed in one of my previous videos. Each tradition has multiple schools and more than one viewpoint, like different schools of Vedanta. Different texts within the same tradition explain the knowledge in different way, and it is beyond the scope to cover all different variation and interpretations. My approach will be to keep the complications aside and present the philosophy in its essence. So to keep it simple, straightforward and comparable, I have chosen one major school from each tradition that supports the non-dualistic approach, which is considered the highest viewpoint in Hindu philosophy. In Shaiva Tantra, I have chosen Kashmir Shaivism, which is also the root of Shakta tradition. In Shakta Tantra, I have picked up Sri Vidya, and in Vaishnava Tantra, Pancharatra. These schools are considered the most authoritative ones. To convey the core philosophy, I will refer to two major models, Shiva Shakti Tantra philosophy and Lakshmi Narayana Tantra philosophy. The Shiva Shakti Tantra philosophy is common and shared between Shaiva and Shakta tradition, but their practices differ. The Lakshmi Narayana Tantra philosophy applies to Vaishnava tradition only, in which Lakshmi is another name of Shakti. Like you may have heard, without Shakti, Vishnu or Shiva is like Shava or corpse. As far as the content is concerned, my approach will be similar to the 6 Vedic philosophy for the consistency. Each one will include the key features of this school, Tatwas, and the philosophy it expounds. And then I will share what each philosophy says about 5 major areas or questions on ultimate reality, creation, and our relationship with it, about individual soul, or who am I, the reason of our suffering and how to get out of the suffering, or get liberation or freedom from the suffering. Then finally, I will share the comparison, including the similarities and differences among the 3 traditions. So this was the high-level information about some of the common features and the framework of the upcoming Tantra philosophy videos. Hope you are ready to dive into it. If so, see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the information, please subscribe, like, and share so that everyone else can also enjoy this.